Good.
Good. Smell good.
Thank you.
The website doesn't have a single email address for residents to send messages or questions. One thing that the residents updated to include suggestion forms that residents can fill out and submit directly online. Next question, why does it cost twice as much to maintain your own building this year compared to last year? The response,
The whole stack.
the building has not had any major upgrades or repairs in the last 10 years.
There you go.
This year budget allocates funds to address long overdue maintenance and bring the facility up to standard.
Which one?
Next question, why do you want to spend 2.43 times as much on personnel this year? With the recent election of the new highway commission, Thornton Township has budgeted for potential staffing and operational changes in the road and bridge department. This allows the commissioner flexibility to evaluate the department needs and make improvements. Staffing decisions will be based on efficiency, service delivery, and long-term goals, not inflated hiring. Question, why should road and bridge department even exist? The department is essential for road maintenance, drainage, infrastructure, and incorporated areas. These services aren't provided by cities or villages, and the Illinois requires the township to maintain them. Why don't we simply give the money to municipalities to maintain their own world? The township is legally responsible for unincorporated areas, and that responsibility cannot be transferred. Keeping control ensures faster response times and cost-efficient services delivered tailored to township needs. And that concludes the road and bridge.
Commissioner, question.
Thank you, Supervisor. I'll be quick. I'll be exactly 2 minutes. I promise I won't keep you here all night. But good evening, residents. Now woke up. Thank you. Thank you. As the Highway Commissioner for Thornton Township, I am proud to share the current state and outlook of Road and Bridge Fund. A fund that is not only a financial instrument, but a reflection of our values, foresight, and our commitment to responsible and responsive public service. This year, the Road and Bridge Fund is projected to receive $1.52 million, you just heard from the director, which marks $500,000 increase over the previous year. That increase is not just a number. It's a testament to our proactive planning, smart partnerships, and our ability to leverage external support, including a $500,000 anticipated grant revenue from the CDGE program. We understand the roads and bridges and public right-of-ways are the backbone of unincorporated Thornton Township. This is why our spending remains laser focused on infrastructure and improvements in routine maintenance. All of our positioning is for and to serve the residents first. Of the total incoming funds, $500,000 is earmarked for new road projects contingent upon final grant approval. These aren't just lines in the budget. They are the future roads that will connect our families to schools and businesses and each other in unincorporated Thornton Township. In addition to new development, we have dedicated resources towards garage repair and cleanup, ensuring that our operational facilities are safe and efficient and clean, not only for today's workforce, but for our future generations of public service workers in our highway department. With careful planning, this budget anticipates a modest but mindful surplus of $3,200. Reflecting a balanced approach towards budgeting. And with our starting fund balance at $2.6 million, we stand in a very strong financial position, prepared for both opportunity and emergency, without needing to dip in our reserves. Let me be very clear. We are not overspending. We are not going to underperform in the Road and Bridge Fund. We are strategically investing in small-scale capital projects, prioritizing safety, sustainability, and stewardship. This budget reflects more than just numbers. It is a reflection of our promise to not drain our reserves, our promise to keep revenue and expenses together, our promise that our community's infrastructure will remain safe and strong and reliable. In closing, I want to thank our finance director for his work in collaboration with my office. I also want to thank him for his transparency and accountability in this process. This is how good government should function, guided by values, backed by facts, and driven by results. Thank you, Supervisor.
Thank you, Commissioner Russell.
Supervisors, okay, questions?
Yeah, I was about to ask if there's any questions from the trustees.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you for attending. I didn't really, at this point in time, have any questions. I got all the information I needed previously to go over this. But just to clear up a few things, function of the highway commissioner is not a favor in any way, it's an obligation. It's guided by township and state laws through state statutes and things of that nature. So this is our, I shouldn't say our, it is ours, but I mean, it is his operation. He must do these things. He must do these things in a safe manner and as fiscally soundly as possible. A couple of things I want to say, though, kind of even they apply to the highway commission, but they also apply to the other budgets. When it comes to things like grants, you must account for the money. You can't say, hey, we might not get the grant, let's not plan that way. That's just not the way it's done. You must account for the grant money. If you don't get it, then you call an audible, as they say. You make changes. But we must account for that money, feeling that we aren't going to get it. That's just the way it is. There is no way around it. That's the way it must be done. That's the proper way. So whether it's highway commission, whether it's general fund, or whether it's general assistance fund, that accounts to all of those. We need to account for that money. Right now, we're in the newer part of the building. It's not the case for all the buildings. I know, especially with the highway commission building, it is not a new building by any means. Not only that building, but some of our other buildings, it's just that time. Air conditioning units are going out. Refrigeration units are going out. Things of that nature. Garage doors are going out. It's kind of just that time. So once again, you need to anticipate in order to be fiscally responsible. You don't want to not account for things and then have something pop up later and say, oh, what are we going to do? You just simply cannot do that. And once again, that applies to all of our budgets. And just once again, across the board, I mean, anybody who's been to a grocery store or had a repair done at their house, everything has gone up. Unfortunately, everything is more expensive right now. Once again, we need to anticipate for that. We try our best not to be surprised by something like that. That's one of the main things we do. We need to be ready. We need to plan for the future. So, I can't say for all increases, but some of the increases that we have, it's just based on those things. Things are simply more expensive right now. Let's see, just trying to see. I made a few notes here. I'm sorry. But that's what I said. So the budget for right now, I'll just speak to the highway commissioner. As he stated, it's in guidelines. Things have been, the grants and things like that, they have been anticipated for, which has to be done. But as he said, we're not going into any reserves or anything like that. Everything is, is fiscally sound here, and we're just continuing to move forward in that manner, trying our best to be fiscally responsible and do the most we could with what we have, and do more with less is what I always like to look for. So, thank you.
Supervisor, may I be recognized?
Yes. Recognize trustee Stubbs.
Thank you. I also spoke with the highway commissioner about his budget, and I was hoping in his presentation that he would speak about the flooding issues that we have in unincorporated. If you can speak about the floods, and that's why we need the grant money to help us with the flooding, that we are responsible for. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Mr. Chair. Trustee, I'll elaborate a little bit about part of our responsibility as the culverts, I guess the little divide between the road and someone's house as they're approaching it. We do the infrastructure work there. We do put that new piping into the ground, which helps with the plumbing, with the flooding and the water drainage issue. So it is something that's a part of our road and bridge projects and reserves to help us with that.
Thank you, and that hasn't been done in years. So I pray that we get the CDBG grant money to help us with all of these projects. Thank you.
Are there any other questions from any other trustee? The chair recognizes trustee.
I'll just state briefly that I want to amend the highway commissioner for balance budget 6, a small surplus of $3,200 into the grant. I believe not just for the road and bridge fund, but generally speaking, we see line items for major increases. Those reflect the priorities of this administration. So I want to ensure that everyone is on the same page as it relates to what it is that we're going to invest in. Our buildings, our roads, our bridges. We want to make sure that the township is in the best position possible to be able to invest into the future. This budget allows us to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Stanley. Trustee recognizes trustee Yvonne.
I concur with my counterpart. Thank you, excuse me. I'm new to this, as all of you know. And I'm proud to be here. I'm proud to be here with everyone that is sitting here. And I've spoken to everyone regarding their budgets. So we'll deal with the highway commissioner. For every spot that you see a dash and no dollars, that's the last administration. That means nothing was allocated. So it stands to reason if you do your house budget and you did nothing last year, you want to be prepared for this year. So I only ask that you give us a chance. We've been here 63 days. I only ask that you give us a chance to do what you elected us to do. Thank you.
And with that, I call for a motion to adopt the fiscal year 26 road and bridge fund budget.
I make a motion to adopt the 2025, 2026 road and bridge fund.
Second.
Motion by trustee Stanley, seconded by trustee Stubbs. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. At this time, I call for a motion to adjourn the road and bridge hearing.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the road and bridge hearing.
Motion by trustee Stubbs, seconded by trustee Avant to adjourn. Clerk, take the roll.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. 5 members voting in the affirmative, motion carries, and this meeting is adjourned.
We'll ask Paul. Because Paul's probably This starts at 6 o'clock. Right. So I don't know if they just decided to
The time is 5:33,
push back all that.
and we're getting ready for
Hey, guys.
call the meeting to order for the general fund and the general assistance fund. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Stubbs?
Present.
Trustee Stanley? Trustee Trustee Avant. Here. Trustee Gonzalez.
Present.
Commissioner Russell. Assessor Elston. Supervisor Harris.
Present.
For those voting in the affirmative, we have a quorum. We'll now stand for the pledge of allegiance.
So, as stated earlier before, during the Road and Bridge tentative budget hearing, we are moving public comments up to allow, for the potential of us to answer your questions or reply to your comments, regarding the, presentation of the budgets, regarding the tentative budgets for the general assistance and general fund. We're moving public comments up to now, so, I would also just like to remind you that each person gets 3 minutes, that your comments must address the fund that is being presented, so that's the general assistance and the general fund, budgets. And a total of 30 minutes is allotted for public comments per ordinance. So at this time, I will call the first speaker, Gardis Watts.
First, for the general assistance fund. We're looking at a net loss of 39%, but yet, we've allocated $1.5 million for the tax refund project, which is 7,000% more than what was, in the actual budget from last year. And, thank you, trustee, for that clarification, but it looks like a lot of those numbers have been unaudited, so we don't know where that money went. Because totaling those numbers with the zeros on the actual, in the general assistance fund, it comes out to $274,298. So is that missing? Is it gone? Where did it go? Has there been a forensic audit done? And as far as the general fund, we are looking at the loan interest expense, which went up to 23, no, actually twice as much as the loan payment from last year, from $950,000 to $3.1 million. Now, according to the budget from last year, there were actually 2 loan payments on the books. One from, I believe it was 2022 and one from 2014. Which one are we paying off of? Or are we just, this is general loan payment? And lastly, going to the general fund. Oh, and also the general fund with the unaccounted money, $252,500. So we're looking at close to $500,000 being accounted for from the last administration. And like I said, no forensic audit done. And also okay, all right, that's it for me.
Thank you. Next, we have Paul Roberts.
I'll pass.
Thank you. Next, we have Alicia. Is it Paul? Thank you.
Thank you, for the last meeting and those explanations. Hearing the explanation makes it easier to digest these numbers. Again, I mean, I understand this is a new administration. We're coming off of, like, who knows what, we still don't know where we were, where we stand. I do still think an audit is necessary. The one constant, Robert Hunt, was the finance director for that administration, and now this one. So I feel like you should be the one to answer some of these questions that Doris just asked with regard to where some of the money went. You were the finance director then, you are the finance director now. So I feel like you should be able to provide some sort of an explanation for some of these things that are just kind of ambiguous. So again, I thank you for this process. This is something I'm not used to at the township, and it's needed. We need to understand. That's all we want is to understand. And when you explain things, we can, use that and apply it to our knowledge, our thinking to help it make sense. So that's all we're asking. And again, Robert, a lot of this falls back on you because you were there then, you're here now, and there's still questions. And, I feel like, again, I'm just gonna keep saying it, you should be more approachable because it seems like you're hiding or deflecting or something when it comes to giving explanations to these things that you were first and directly involved with. Thank you.
Thank you. Trina, stop.
Sorry, it takes me a moment. Hi, everybody. Thanks very much for being there and doing all the work that you do. I want to say that first. I had a question here on, I guess this would be the general fund. There's a section under training that I don't understand. It's G1, G2, G3, and it's for training, which is wonderful. We all need training. It's just there's no details there. So hopefully in your budget, you actually put at least some kind of an idea of how much it is or how many people might be going to the training. Another thing, as a resident, I kind of wonder how the salaries are figured out. I've never quite understood that. Is it hourly? Is it, I just don't understand how it's figured out. It seems like some people don't get very much at all. I'm thinking maybe they're part-time and they only work a few hours a week. And other people get very large salaries. I'm assuming they work a lot of hours, and of course they work very hard. And other people I know work very hard. They don't seem to get as much money as other people. So I was just curious as to how that's all figured out. And I think a lot of residents are kind of curious about that as well. Also, you see things on the budget like bonuses in addition to very large salaries, or expenses, again, in addition to very large salaries. Again, we don't know what those are for. What are those expenses for? Why would you get a bonus? Or, there must be a reason that you would get a bonus. I'm sure, some people are definitely entitled to more than they could ever afford to pay. But we're just curious. So, and again, thank you for what you do.
Thank you. Rosanna Davis.
Hello, everyone. I want to make sure everything is fine. 3 minutes. First of all, I want to apologize for making this my first meeting. But I just relocated back here after 15 years to Chicago, to Illinois rather. And I was out of state in Georgia. And since I've been back, not only South Holland, but because I was able to re-enter and being awake and not being in the constant of Illinois, the infrastructure here is terrible. So with saying that, I spent about the last 90 days just riding through different villages, and there's a lot of need in Thornton Township. I appreciate you guys for taking on this large elephant task by coming behind an administration that had no transparency. And I just want to tell you personally that I appreciate you. Because with transparency comes positive and negative. It comes with praise, and it comes with allowance, but it also comes with abuse. So when you have those different variations, you're going to have people that will balance it out. I'm going to give you a chance, and I will be very proactive. I'm a resident in South Holland, and I also own businesses, and one of them happens to be in finance. So I'm gonna dive deep into the different line items that they've been speaking about. But I do know in finances, because I do a budget, if you're starting off with a zero, you have to add that zero and what they should have done onto what you're doing now. So the numbers will inflate. So as a resident, I'll be here, my hands are open to help and volunteer in any area, whether it's in social service, whether it's in resources, but I will get a copy of the budget. I will dive deep into it, and transparency is needed and wanted, because I came in the back end of the last administration where there was no transparency and it was a lot of chaos. But I want to give you guys more than 63 days before I really hold you accountable for something. You need it, because you need to wrestle through what was going on. And I just ask us as a community to make sure that we're asking questions and we also allow them the answers, that we hold them accountable once we see that the accountability has not been held up on the things that they stated that they were going to do. And that's what I have to say.
Thank you. Anthony Williams?
Good evening, fellow citizens. Good evening to Supervisor Bowden Harris and to the distinguished trustees. I'm a trustee at Southern College, Foster. And the month of August is civility month. Now, civility is not some nice thing. Civility is embracing your humanity, respect for yourself, respect for others. Highest form of civility is nonviolence, but this generation don't want to hear that, y'all. But right now, more than ever before, particularly after the aftermath in terms of what we had to deal with in the past, well, supervisor, trustees, civility is very important. I see great possibilities in Thornton Township, and I see great possibilities in this administration. And I have to be proud of you all. And also, if you have not gone to the new restaurant, St. Patrick's, I suggest you all go over there, please. So look, I just want to thank you all for your service, and the best for the township, and the best for us, right? Thank you so much, Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you. Brian Zawinski?
Good evening, everyone. I just had a few questions. I also want to know about the forensic audit status. I also saw recently that Michael Smith had posted a FOIA that he had sent. He had a lot of questions regarding the different staff, staff responsibilities, staff salaries, new staff that have been hired, and apparently he had to send it to the public access counselor because he was not given an answer, so I don't know why. Because that should have been answered immediately. Also, I want to remind everyone, there are a lot of people up here on the board and in this room who yelled at Tiffany for months about overspending, but now we're seeing you push through expensive events. We have exploding budgets. We have no forensic audit. I suggest that you read and take to heart what the Lansing Journal wrote. They shared the Village of Lansing's procedure where they posted the budget online, so you should not have to come here and ask for the clerk to give you a paper version. That's very 1955, but I mean, let's update here. So posted the budget online for everyone to look at. You need to be able to answer the questions and fix the budget to adjust it without all these increases. And most importantly, like what they did in Lansing, postpone the vote on this. Don't rush us. People are barely surviving here. People are they're pinching pennies to be able to stay in their homes, to pay their property taxes. This is, it's survival mode out here. So when we see, doubling of budgets in certain line items all over, and it seems like you guys are putting more effort into defending why you want more money than into saving money. People are losing their homes because they can't afford these taxes. You're gonna have to do better, especially with all the months where you wouldn't let Tiffany have a few $100 to give seniors ice cream, but now we can afford hundreds and thousands of dollars going up and up and up and up and up and up. I mean, it doesn't make sense. So please, please, please do not vote on these budgets tonight. That's irresponsible. It's absolutely irresponsible. At least give us more time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Lena Graham.
Good evening.
Y'all vote on that budget. Vote on the budget. This administration has been in office for 63 days. When they took their seats, it was like walking into a hornet's nest, what they walked into. And we have people in here, and you know, I try not to say anything because I get emotional. Because I see what people are doing. But I see those other negative people over there. I hope I don't run out my saying negative stuff. Why don't y'all go to Washington and talk Trump? That's what you need to be at. Not here. What you say? Go ahead. That's what I'm talking about. All right, girl. How about the budget? This budget should have been passed before these people stepped in office. Don't blame them. You know it. Don't blame them. The prior administration, this board, not this board, that board, the prior administration was in disarray. We now have a board that's unified. Why don't you just give them a chance? They have not done anything illegal. Some of you may think so, but they haven't. Some of you must know by now that after the budget is done, it has to be displayed for 30 days. These people ain't been here for 63 days. They had to come in and work with whatever budget was there. Then they have to post it for 30 days. What do you want? Chaos. I want you to vote on it. I do. Vote on it. There's been some complaint about why some people are still here. Like you, Mr. Hunt. They want to know why you still here. They don't know whether or not you qualified or not. You had to do what you was told to do. I think you're highly qualified. And when I say these, a lot of these parties will not buy it, that speaks to his character, that man should like it. That speaks to his character. He's not going to come in here and just fire people, just to be firing people. To me, that this said that this man is caring about people. He can come in and start firing people because he cares. You got something to bring to the table. Those people that's going to be weeded out. Excuse me, y'all, that's my time. I'm down. They're telling me my battery is low. No, my battery's high. Right on. All right, give them a chance. Yes. Hold them accountable. Yes. Let's unify. Let's work together. As long as the God give me breath, I'm going to be here behind you. Because I know there's so many people out here running their mouths all on Facebook, they ain't got the truth. They don't have the truth. You don't know what's going on. Yes. You got to sit down. Yes. That's budget, y'all. Support everybody else.
I would just like to clarify regarding the clerk's office and the pack that was submitted or requested by Michael Smith. We have a FOIA system on the website, and if residents have emailed me their FOIA requests, and I've asked them to submit it through the FOIA system, so that we can keep track of it properly. If we start having email FOIAs here, and this way, we will lose the correspondence and the tracking of it. So I emailed him back and asked him to simply submit it through the FOIA system, which he did, and we are working on it. We are working on FOIAs that have been sitting there since last year. We are trying to get them to you in a timely manner. I apologize if they have been delayed, but we have been getting them out. Okay. But, and we did get a response to his complaint today. I have not read it because I came in after work and started working for the, on the meeting tonight. So I just want to clarify that. We do have a system that is on the website, and we ask that you please submit your FOIAs through that system.
Absolutely.
And that's the end of public.
At this time, we're going to have Finance Director Hunt to present the budget. First, the first budget he's going to present is going to be the general assistance, and then after we take, after the trustees deliberate on that, then we'll go to the general fund. Please proceed.
All right, I will be presenting the general assistance fund the same way as presented the road and bridge fund. I'll first walk through the council's budget overview, highlight how we are allocating.
I wish more people would have come out. This is really sad.
Where our strategic investments and what the numbers look like across all major funds. After that, I will address the most common questions we receive on the budget. General assistance fund budget overview. The general assistance fund is projected to receive 9.39 million in revenue, a 2.88 million decrease from last year. This is mainly due to a reduction in property tax levy based on current needs. The fund also includes over 1.9 million in-kind support from food donations from the USDA and Thornton Township Foundation. What we're spending. Expenditures are budgeted at 9.52 million, an increase of 2.17 million. Includes a 1.5 million tax refund program for qualifying homeowners, increased support for rental, utilities, food, and emergency assistance. Funding includes cost of living adjustment for staff. Net impact, a modest reduction of 132,000 in fund balances expected, with a beginning balance of 18.28 million. The fund remains in a strong financial position. Quick highlight. 1.5 million is allocated for the homeowners tax refund program, expanded support for hardship assistance program, allocating for cost of living adjustments, continued community partnerships to enhance food distribution. The general assistance fund remains a key tool in supporting vulnerable residents and reinvesting in their community. Next, I'm going to go over the high level for the general assistance fund actual budget. For revenue, total operating revenue, $7,477,477. Other revenue, total other revenue, $1,913,280. Total revenue, $9,390,757. Expenditures, administration division, $4,626,741. Home Relief Division, $4,896,016. Total expenditures, $9,522,757. Change in net assets, negative $132,000. I will now address some of the questions that we received from the public media. General assistance fund, revenue drop. Was this due to a mixed tax levy? No, the decrease was intentional. Thornton Township has made a strategic decision to reduce the general assistance fund tax levy by $3 million to provide direct relief to residents. This follows 2 consecutive years of strong surpluses of $4.7 million and $4.27 million. which position the funds to maintain services without overtaxing the community. The reduction allows the township to shift the levy to the general fund, where it supports broader programs that benefit more residents while keeping overall tax rates steady. Vehicle purchase, $50,000. What is this for? Tax refund project, $1.5 million. What are the details? Thornton Township has updated this line item to vehicle expenses. This allocation supports general assistance programs. The funds will be used for ongoing repairs, maintenance, and the potential replacement of vehicles to ensure safe and reliable transportation for food deliveries. The tax refund initiative will assist eligible homeowners who pay property taxes and receive homeowners assistance. Administration, merit compensation, $75,000, employee benefits, $10,000, deferred compensation, wide increase. These lines provide flexibility for merit compensation, employee benefits, and retirement matching. If unused, these funds remain unspent. These allocations ensure no employee is denied benefits due to lack of budget. Home Relief Division. New spending on services like medical, ambulance, rural, training, etc. Are these new programs? No, these services have existed over 15 years. While some were not used last year, funding is being restored to ensure continued support for residents in need. And then last one, medical insurance decreased from $99,000 to $10,000, and other benefits increased. The medical insurance allocation for the food pantry was increased to $110 in the final budget. This reflects a reallocation of $100,000 that was originally budgeted in the General Assistance Administration. This adjustment ensures that benefit costs are properly aligned with the actual location of staff without reducing coverage of services.
Any questions from trustees? Seeing none, I'll make some general comments regarding the budget. As was stated by Finance Chair Hunt, we reduced the levy strategically, meaning that this is going to allow us to pay less in taxes in our total overall budget. But first, let me say this. A budget is a reflection of our priorities. We hear a lot of talk about it's increased here, or not enough this, not enough that. This board and myself strategically sat down and thought about the processes in which we go about this, because we don't want to leave any resident behind. And when you're spending on the best interest of the residents, sometimes you have to make the tough decisions to increase things for the sake of the residents. It was said about property taxes. But we have a tax relief program in process. That does not mean that all of the revenue that was allotted for that will be spent. But we needed it there just in case. If 100% of people utilize it, we're gonna have that money readily accessible for the residents of Thornton Township. And that's important, because we're not gonna sit here and deny people the services that they need, that they pay for, and that respectfully, we should give them. Last thing, we talk about having it both ways. I'm hearing a lot of talk about, well, you're overspending this, and we need to get a forensic audit for this, and do this for that. Well, you do know that audits cost money too. And if we add the audit to it, then we're gonna go over more budget. So let's stop the nonsense about who did this and who did this, and let's come together in response to the residents here at Thornton Township. And I know myself and the commitment of this board, we're gonna put the residents first in every decision that we make. And so with that, I'll say thank you, Finance Chair Hunt, for bridging the gap and standing in the gap and allowing us the opportunity to work alongside with you to put this budget together that should have been done months ago. But moving forward, we now have a roadmap, so that now we're gonna be able to have more efficient budgets. And as we continue to grow through this process, these departments, we're gonna continue to strengthen them to make sure that we enhance the services for the residents. I was given a comment that said that we've cut down services here at the township to get higher salaries. That is just untrue. There's a lot of untruths going on around here. A lot. And if you really want to know what's going on, all you have to do is ask and go through the proper channels. Everyone wants it their way, right away, and that's just not how government works. We're working as speedily as we can, trying to catch up on work that was dropped in our lap when we took office. So please, bear with us. We're gonna get this thing corrected as best we can and get things moving in the right direction. And as we say, moving forward. Thank you. At this time, I ask for a motion to adopt. So next, we're gonna, before we adopt them, we're gonna move right along to the finance chair to do the general fund.
I already presented the general fund budget the same way as the other two budgets. We'll first go over the budget overview, highlight how we allocate resources, where we made strategic investments, and what the government looks like across our major funds. After that, I'll address the most common questions we receive on the budget. General fund budget. Thornton Township anticipates a $13.27 million in general fund revenue for fiscal year 2026. This represents a 3.1 million increase over the previous year. The growth is attributed to a stable tax base and consistent property values. What we're seeing, general fund expenses are projected at 14.2 million, an increase of 2.9 million over last year. The primary driver is a payoff of a 3.34 million loan, eliminating a long-term debt. The decision is expected to save Thornton Township approximately $350,000 in future interest payments. The township is also allocating for cost of adjustment for staff. This budget reflects a planned reduction of $743,000 in the fund balance due to the one-time loan payoff of $3.3 billion. The general fund will maintain a healthy reserve of over $5 million. The township remains financially strong while continuing to fund core services. Quick highlights. There are strong reserves positioned even after the loan payoff. Continued investment in senior services and transportation support. Funding for community events such as picnics, luncheon, and outreach. Support for youth engagement, accessibility ramps, and public communication. This budget reflects a balanced approach between fiscal responsibility and service to the community. I'm going over the high-level numbers of the Thornton Township General Fund. Revenue, total revenue will be $13,274,203. Administration bills to the department, $7,292,422. Post department, $38,500. Cemetery department, $13,000. Assessor department, $392,401. Department senior services, $1,695,633. Department of Transportation Services, $930,226. Department of Community Outreach and Engagement, $1,168,907. Department of Special Services, $220,168. TAP program, $995,214. Department of Youth and Family Services, $1,270,600. Total expenditures, $14,017,134. Change in net assets, negative $742,931. Finally, I'll go over some of the questions we received from the public. How many people work at Thornton Township? How many people are employed within each one? Thornton Township currently employs 151 staff members. The distribution as follows: General Fund 121, General Assistance Fund 27 employees, Road and Bridge 3 employees. There is spending on education and seminars in most divisions this year, up from zero from last year. Why is there an increase in educational spending? Under new leadership, Thornton Township is prioritizing training and professional development for staff and elected officials. These investments are critical to ensure quality service delivery and regulatory compliance. The budget reflects this renewed focus. There are several office equipment increases planned. Does this represent an overall upgrade Why did last year record 0 for office supplies and equipment in most areas? There are modest allocations between 1,000 and 5,000 have been made across departments to cover potential replacement or upgrades to essential office equipment, such as printers or computers. These are arbitrary and ensure departments remain operational if equipment fails. The budget totals over 20 million, and these small line items represent standard contingencies. Special project, computer database. Can you tell us more about this planned upgrade, which seems to be taking place across the business? Each department relies on program-specific databases to manage services. These funds are allocated to ensure maintenance, updates, emergency fixes as needed. It is part of a improvement plan, especially as technology continues to evolve. Another question, why are there so many new charges for posters? General fund loan shows a planned 16,000 increase in posters. Posters across general fund department total $22,000 for fiscal year 2026. Spread across 6 departments, that's approximately $300 per department per month. This ensures departments can communicate by mail where needed, especially to reach residents without digital access. Zero lines in prior years created operational limitations, which this budget creates. Liability insurance. Costs are going down across the board. Is this because Henry is no longer with the township? For fiscal year 2026, Thornton Township has taken a conservative and realistic approach to budgeting for insurance costs. The insurance allocation will increase to reflect the actual fiscal year 2025 expenditure of $1,097,000, the highest ever paid by Thornton Township. While the initial budget allocated $764,000 across the general fund to assistance fund, the revised budget accounts for the recent spike in premiums and aims to ensure sufficient coverage while under budget. Historically, the township insurance costs range from $300,000 to $400,000 across all major funds. While we hope that rates stabilize, the adopted budget reflects a cautious and prudent approach based on more recent experience, not any one person or group. Merit compensation. Who's this plan for? The merit compensation line item has existed for several years and not designed for any specific individual. It provides flexibility to allocate additional compensation throughout the year as needed, allowing the township to evolve circumstances and organizational needs. Loan payment, $3.17 million, up from $950,000 last year. Is the loan coming? The township is planning to pay off its outstanding loan in full during the fiscal year 2026. This strategic move, pending revenue performance, would save over $350,000 in interest and eliminate future obligations. Community relations, $200,000. Community relations commissions, $50,000. Why these increases? Thornton Township is restoring and enhancing its commitment to community programs. Events such as community picnics, lunch, and other outreach efforts are designed to engage and serve our diverse population of over 100,000 residents. The increased allocation ensures these events are properly supported and accessible. The Human Relations Commission is also being funded appropriately to support inclusive initiatives reflecting the township diversity. Clerk department, special projects, $15,000. What is this for? With a newly elected clerk, the budget includes a modest allocation to support new initiatives, technology upgrades, and unforeseen operational needs. Senior services salaries increased to $522,000. Home modification lines up $50,000. Is this the roofing program? There are 11 persons in the senior service department. The salary increase reflects cost of living adjustment. The $50,000 home modification program installed ramps, stair lifts, handrails for eligible seniors, not roofing. Department of Special Services, budget increase of $125,000. Why the new expenses? This department supports special needs residents with activities like dances and recreational outings. The increase reflects efforts to fully reactivate the post-pandemic programming and maintain long-standing community service. Township has updated this line item to vehicle expense. This allocation supports the TAP program, which operates a fleet of 25 vehicles. The funds will be used for ongoing repairs, maintenance, and potential vehicle replacements to ensure safety and reliability for transportation for residents. Department of Youth and Services, Special Project 10,000. Youth Foundation 5,000. What are these for? The funds support youth-focused programs such as holiday toy giveaway and educational events featuring speakers on topics like anti-violence, mental health, and personal development. The line item previously labeled Youth Community Projects has been updated to Thornton Township Foundation to reflect current operations as the township no longer makes sense to youth community. The foundation allocation also provides the foundation annual audit and other essential operation needs if required. This year's budget was again prepared by Finance Director Hunt, but was hurriedly completed after the deadline. We referred questions to the clerk, who didn't respond before the hearing. The budget prepared by the Finance Department in coordination with the department heads of Thornton Township leadership, followed the same process as in prior years. Our timelines were tight due to administration transition. All legal notices and hearing requirements were met. Residents were encouraged to submit questions in advance, and we are addressing them publicly tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Hunt. A couple of highlights that I want to go over regarding this budget for the general fund. As I said previously, a budget is a reflection of your priorities. And these are some of the priorities. These are some of the priorities that this body has taken up and that we really care about. And I'm just going to list a few of them. Let's start first of all with our senior services. The hot lunch program. From March 1st to June 30th, just this year, we've served over 12,000 hot lunches to seniors at a reduced price. Therefore, the Thornton Township projects that we're going to serve close to 50,000 lunches during the first full fiscal year. Senior transportation. Township anticipates providing over 45,000 rides to seniors this year. The rides help seniors reach essential destinations like grocery stores, hospitals, dialysis centers, and other medical appointments. For our TAP, the lawn care assistance program for seniors, Thornton Township expects more than 6,000 lawns being cut during the summer months through its free lawn care program for eligible seniors. We're helping seniors comfortably age at their home with our home modification program, with our rent installation program, some of our senior social enrichment programs. We have bingo, we have senior trips for more than 2,500 seniors expected to participate on these sponsored trips. We have exercise program, we have movie day at the township, a tech savvy program that we have here for our seniors, our community enrichment program with our days in the park, the annual picnic, our Christmas toy giveaway, and our youth program with our summer enrichment program. This program ran from 9 to 4 each day, providing a safe, engaging, and educational environment for kids and youth during the summer. We had close to 100 participants enrolled just this year alone. In our after-school program, combined with our summer activities, we anticipate more than 250 kids throughout the school year to participate in youth enrichment activities. This is a small portion of the dedication that we as a body are dedicated to as far as getting our services here in Thornton Township. We haven't cut any services. We actually anticipate on adding services because it's much needed. We talk about mental health. We talk about financial literacy. There's a number of things that the township residents send requests in to do that we're trying to fit into this budget. And at an appropriate time, I think we're going to be able to do all of those things, even more than what we just added in tonight. So with that being said, if there are any questions for any trustees?
If I could be recognized, Supervisor.
Chair recognizes Trustee Gonzalez.
I don't have any questions, but I do want to say a few things. You see increases in areas of the budget, but this is as we make our transition with this new board, because with these budgets, the focus is on you, the focus is on services. I'll just go ahead and say it. In the past, that wasn't the case. The focus, unfortunately, was on a person. We're focusing on you, the residents now, and that's how we are going forward. So yes, Some things have increased. A couple examples, special services, it was touched on already, but I want to bring it up again. That's kind of one of the things that are near and dear to my heart. That helps disabled citizens, or disabled residents with various things, whether it be recreational or things in the home. Those were things that just unfortunately fell on the wayside in the, just the past, what we've been through. So once again, the focus is off of promotion and more on services. Seniors, another part of the township that's near and dear to my heart. Once again, it's bringing more services to direct to our seniors. I was an employee here many, many years ago, and those were the areas mainly that I worked in. At that time, it was combined called senior and special services. So needless to say, those are things that are near and dear to my heart. And those, it hurt me when I saw those things, for the most part, being neglected. But going forward, I can clearly see with this budget that that's not the case anymore. Once again, the focus is on service. I'm glad somebody, the gentleman brought up ice cream, and something, I'll just use that as an example. Once again, it wasn't about ice cream. It wasn't about stopping any services. What it was about how much those things were costing. We didn't have that information. Well, as you can see in this budget, we do have that information now. And that's how we go forward. We're able to make decisions because we know where we're at, we know what we're spending, and that's what it's all about. Now we could do more with less, like I said before. I was never looking to stop any of the services, and if anything else, I wanted to increase them. Once again, within our means, and that's what we're doing here. That's why we are voting on these budgets, and that's why they're crucial that we get these done. I'll go back to the other budget, the general assistance one. It's been asked questions, and it's talked about the tax refund project. Well, yes, that's something that's been brought up before. It's something that the township has done before, but guess what? We have numbers to work with now. Before, it was always just thrown out there as just said, let's approve the tax refund project. Well, no, that's why I said no. We need to know how much it's going to cost. We need to know who's getting serviced by it and things of that nature. Well, guess what? We know that now, and that wasn't the case before. So that's how we go forward, not only as a board, but working with you, the citizens. Like I could go on and on. There's so many examples, that we could give. The supervisor gave some excellent examples as well. But I think it all comes down to communication, not just us as a board, but us with the residents as well, back and forth. Information coming our way, information going your way. That is crucial, and that's all being done. And it's being worked on. It's already been said. It's been 63 days. Things are still being worked on. I've equated it to kind of like when you're dating somebody for the first time. You got to get to know each other, see how each other works, and from there you take it forward. You're not, doing those work streams over the first couple of days, right? So we get to learn, not only with us, but with the residents. And, we get to know each other, and that's just a simple truth. So like I said, we're going forward at that, but like I said, rest assured, the focus is on you. It's not on anybody on this board. It is on the residents, and it is on the citizens. And with all that being said, I just want to thank our supervisor, the rest of the board, the staff for all their assistance in all this, and bringing us to us, and also thank the residents for their questions. You need to ask questions. We want you to ask questions. That's what it's all about. We may not always have the perfect answer. We may not have an answer that you're happy with, but you will get an answer. And that's kind of the bottom line, and we just kind of take it from there. But I would like it to get to a point where we are just asking a simple question of why did this cost this amount, or something simple like that, as opposed to going just, where myself or, you ask me a question, I say, in all honesty, I don't know that because I'm not given the proper information. That is not the case. I am given the proper information. I'm able to make intelligent decisions, and once again, it's about communication both ways. So, sorry I went a little long, probably past the 3 minutes. But thank you.
Supervisor Harris, now be recognized.
The chair recognizes.
I just want to say to the resident, this is the year 2025. The cost of living that went up, the cost of materials have went up. To build a ramp now for a senior citizen, I'm sure it costs much more than it did in the year 2020. In the year 1994, when I started at the Department of Corrections, my starting salary was $16,000. Today, that salary for a new hire is $68,000. Everything have gone up. Your groceries have went up. So all I'm saying to you residents, when you look at this budget, think about what year it is. Think about back in 1976, when you paid a nickel for a bag of potato chips, and now what do a bag of potato chips cost? Everything costs, and it's constantly going up, and therefore we have to increase the budget so we can accommodate the senior citizens or programs, so we have to do all those things. So I want you to keep that in mind, that this is the year 2025. Thank you. Thank you.
Trustee, you recognize?
I am not gonna keep you guys for 1 second on my comment. Trustee Stubbs stole my thunder. But I'd like to ask everyone in this room, except Ms. Williams, because I don't use postage stamps anymore. Does anyone know what a postage stamp costs today? 78 cents to mail one letter. Now, when they were 32 cents, I bought 15 books. And I don't use stamps, so I can still mail my letters when I have to for 32. But if I hadn't done that, we complain about the cost of eggs. I eat eggs all my life. My eggs are bad for you, and they cost too much anyway. But give us an opportunity to make it right. When we fought up here, or when they fought up here, everybody complained. Ain't getting nothing done, just fussing and fighting. We don't fight, but you don't know what goes on in the back room. We talk, as the supervisor says. If we come out here and agree, trust me, we agree for you. But think about it next time you have to know that. Thank you.
Trustee Stanley is recognized.
Let me say, as it relates to the general assistance fund and general fund.
Speak more into the mic, please.
Speak into the mic.
Is that better?
Yes.
As it relates to the general assistance fund and the general fund, we made some strategic investments for this township. We're talking about investments as it relates to transportation services, keeping rides accessible for our seniors, our youth, expanded funding for community outreach and engagement. We're doing some big things with Thornton Township. And if you go with us and give us a little bit of time, we will continue to do that. This board gets along. We are a team. We communicate as much as we possibly can in order to make sure that these budgets make sense and that the services are most applicable for our residents. Give us a little bit of time. It's been 63 days, and when you guys keep hearing that, but we've done a lot in those 63 days, and we're going to continue to do so.
Thank you, trustees, for your questions and comments. At this time, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
I mean,
Trustee Stanley makes a motion to adjourn, seconded by Trustee Stubbs. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Smack?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs? Yes. Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Yvonne? Supervisor Harris?
Yes, with 5 in the affirmative, the motion carries, and this meeting is adjourned.
Okay, so those were the budget. Those were the budget hearings. The board. I'm extremely disappointed. Very disappointed, but not surprised that they voted to approve all the budgets. with huge budget increases and no clear explanations for why all that would be necessary, especially after the months and months of shouting and, raucous behavior towards spending by Tiffany Henyard's administration. Next will be the general board or the special board meeting. Thanks for joining us. Trina, why didn't you come and make public comment? You can still do one more public comment. Okay, let's take a look and see who's here, everybody. All right, so who's still with us? Who survived? That drives me nuts how they present even the budget. It's like, I feel like they're trying to put us to sleep so we don't ask any questions. So boring. Who's still here? Okay, so we have all in the queue filming tonight. We have Vivian filming. We have Diana is here next to me. We have I'll give you guys a general look over the room so you can see who's here. We have a few reporters here too, but not as many as, I would hope there'd be more. Remember all the uproar and we got much better coverage when Tiffany was in office. We still have a lot of money issues that are unsolved, guys. So this is very concerning. Rico's in the back. So yeah, at least we have better local YouTuber and media coverage tonight than we do the big TV stations. But just because Tiffany's not in, guys, do not disengage. Please stay engaged with the process and ask questions. It's very important. We still have a lot of money being spent with very little accountability.
It's like what they have. You never but she did. No, this is the taste of
And I only see one officer. I don't see that other officer that was always here under Tiffany. I wonder where he went. So again, if you're just tuning in, next will be the special board meeting.
all 3 minutes should be up. That's the way we taste the pork. I'm hungry. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all. We have merchandise in here. Right. Yeah. We put it all down. We have several buckets. So they will pick you up at the shopping
The time is 6:35, and we're calling a special meeting to order. Will everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance? Clerk Leslie, please take the roll.
Trustee Ahmad? Here. Trustee Gonzalez? Present. Trustee Stanley? Here. Trustee Suggs? Commissioner Russell? Assessor Howard Elster? Elster, I'm sorry. Supervisor Harris?
All members of the board being present, we have a quorum. At this moment, we're going to do what our customary done, what our meeting call up Pastor Nathaniel Bowman to lead us in the word of prayer.
Our God and our Father, we thank you for letting us rise this morning to see another day we've never seen before. We thank you, dear God, for this meeting that we are having here today to get an understanding of what's going on in our township. We ask, dear God, that you continue to give our leaders elected the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of how to run this great township. We thank you, dear God, as we get answers, send peace in a hostile situation. The same peace that you sent the other day, God send it now. Favor us in the name of Jesus Christ. Give all of us to understand that a house divided cannot stand. In Jesus' name we pray. Thank God. Amen.
At this time, we want to allow for public comments.
For public comments, each person with agreements to speak, a total of 30 minutes. We allow for public comments per ordinance. First person, Curtis Watts.
Greetings to the supervisors, trustees, administrators, and residents. What we have here is nothing that really surprises me at all. It's unfortunate that this township continues to get a bad name in the news and its handling of its resources. But resources that is supposed to provide for those most in need, but instead we get that a certain political figure continues to garner the unmerited salary of a previous supervisor. And while this is not legally wrong, thanks to the supervisor's slick political maneuvering as it state senator. This does not restore the trust or confidence of the residents.
Right.
The majority of the 11% of voters in the last election look to you to not just replace a bad administration, but to make substantial changes to bring this township back to what it was originally built for, to service the needs of those who most need it. Frank Zuccarelli turned this township into a super PAC. Tiffany Hayner made it a party. And now the current supervisor wants to make it a currency exchange to cash his check.
Whoa.
Unfortunately, the electorate has to bear the responsibility because the collective does not have an understanding of politics. The supervisor took advantage of a dire situation from the last administration's chaos. You turned down every offer to debate or even give your political platform in the public setting. You just basically ran off the strength that you're not taking it. Many voters in the last election just decided to vote for the lesser of two evils, not knowing that the lesser of evil is still evil. Residents of this township, we are in a dire situation. Property taxes are sky high.
Yep, they sure are.
Republicans are destroying the national politics, and Democrats are destroying the local politics.
Absolutely.
We've been given budget proposals with no clarity. We still have not seen the forensic audit of the finances. And we sit back and watch a township supervisor make more money than the governor of the state of Illinois. Now, I was encouraged to hear that the increase in the services are being spent because of the cost of living, because the people of this township are the ones that need a raise and not you.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. After everything that I've heard, I was beginning to think that there were some hopeful things that was being said, but I realized that some of you tonight are not going to like what I have to say. And I must say that I'm not here to be liked, but I'm here to be heard. So my comment is to you, Supervisor Harris. What motivated you to seek the supervisor position of Thornton Township? Was it solely for the six-figure compensation, or did you feel a sense of entitlement to become the most powerful figure in the Southland? Your substantial township salary allocates tax dollars away from supporting needy residents and an overtaxed area experiencing rapid population decline. Those who can afford to leave Thornton Township are doing so, while those who cannot are struggling. I do not intend to come across as overly critical. However, since you become supervisor, and even prior to that, transparency has been lacking. Instead, I have observed a continuation of the same practices seen during the caucus, which you established to ensure your appointment without opposition or public input. Aside from photo opportunities, meaningful interaction with residents have been scarce. Have you solicited our feedback? I heard you say not long ago that our questions are nonsense, and that is not good to hear. The residents did not desire a career politician. Rather, we sought someone genuinely invested in addressing our needs. We wanted an individual who would listen to our concerns, and respond with tangible actions and not mere rhetoric. Supervisor Harris, and I say this with everything that's in me, you still have ample opportunity to prove to us, to prove me incorrect about everything that I just said. And I eagerly await seeing that you do so. Thank you. We have come to you personally and wanted to ask you questions, but you have not given us time. We need that interaction from you.
The next speaker is Paul Roberts.
I'm sorry, I don't want to come off as negative. But at the first meeting of this new board, I decided I would wait until at least September before publicly criticizing the board. My comment this evening is about the attorneys. Immediately after being sworn in, the new board voted unanimously to appoint Bert Odelson and Steve Labuzinski as the township attorneys. Perhaps their entire law firms were appointed to represent Thornton Township, but the official minutes of the May 19th meeting mention only those two names. The first FOIA request that I sent to the township in 2025 was in June. I asked for copies of the contracts between the township and the new township attorneys. I have received no response, despite mentioning this to one trustee and asking the Attorney General's public access counselors to step in and help. The township's FOIA officer did send me a prompt and complete answer to a subsequent FOIA request. Makes me wonder if the first request is a sensitive issue. The Henyard administration promptly and completely answered my FOIA request made for the contract and all invoices from the firm they chose as township attorneys. That contract stated that the attorneys were hired to provide legal advice and services to the supervisor and/or the trustees. It did not specify which side they should advise in the event of a conflict between the supervisor and the trustees. However, it was clear that they did not provide legal advice or services to the residents. Since we are now paying for 2 township attorneys, or perhaps 2 law firms, might one of them actually provide legal services or advice to the residents? For example, could residents approach one of our township attorneys for help in wording a ballot resolution to establish a recall mechanism for elected township officials? This issue is of great concern to me after seeing one of the law firms work for the supervisor first in the design and implementation of the caucus in Homewood, and then by getting the electoral board to overlook evidence of the supervisor's residence by discrediting the witness who raised the objection. Given that Supervisor Harris is also the person who chooses which judges get on the ballot around here, I am much more afraid of his attorneys than I was ever afraid of Tiffany's dudes. It would be wonderful to see that the township attorneys are here to provide some clarity to the residents so we have a better understanding of what is being approved during meetings such as this one. Thank you.
All right, so I just want to start by reading the Illinois Criminal Code for cyberbullying. It's 720 ILCS 5/12-7.5. It is illegal to harass, threaten, or intimidate someone online, especially when it's repeated and intentional. When I first started this fight for Dalton, that's where it all began. We didn't know what was going on. When I helped Tiffany Henyard with her campaign, I believed in her transparency. I thought that she was going to be a good leader. We all know that failed. When I helped Clean House 2025 with their campaign, it roped me into a movement, and it created more division than unity in our community in the end. Looking back, I believe we all have some self-reflecting to do. Some of us got it right, some of us got it wrong. But the most beautiful part was when we all stood together, until it wasn't. Now, I need to address something serious. Violence has erupted this past Monday. Amir and his daughter were physically assaulted in Harvey after the Harvey board meeting, and I truly believe that an attack was also meant on me because of what happened at the previous township meeting. Everybody was there, everybody knows what happened, so I'm not gonna go into that. So that was not for a community, that was complete intimidation. And I don't allow it, and I don't respect it. Let me be very clear. I am disabled physically, not because I'm faking, but because it is what it is. That's the life that God chose for me, and this is the path that I have. With that being said, I can speak my truth. I can share my opinions, and I have every right to do so just like anyone else without being cyberbullied and cyber attacked. I have my live going on now, and all I'm doing is getting cyberbullied and cyber attacks. I want this on record because Keith Price is a worker here. He's on FMLA, but I know he's a worker here. And he's part of the online bullying and the cyber attacks that I am receiving. And I want to also put on note that Investigate and Advocate, including certain members, moderators, affiliates, have actually harassed me, spammed me on my page, and stirred up dangerous energy, and I need this to stop immediately. He is a township employee, so I want this on you guys' record to make sure that when he do come back, that something is said, because I've already gone and did what I need to do on my end to make sure that this stops, but I want to make sure that you guys understand that this is a crime that they're doing to me with cyber stalking. Also, I supported Clean House 2025. I believe in their vision. I supported you guys. I believe in your vision. I understand that you guys have been in there 63 days. We are going to give you time to get the finances under control. Because, thank you.
Thank you.
Kimberly, question?
Good evening. I'm sure today doesn't feel good. But Mama said there'll be days like this, so I'll continue with my comment anyway. I don't want you to take it personal. It's a public comment. It's just my vision from the public view. On July 14th, Ren Bradley was here. He asked the supervisor a few questions. One of his questions were, do you think what you're doing is right, being that you were critical of Tiffany? The supervisor answered, I was not critical of anything. Then he asked, considering what these residents have been through, do you think it's a good look for you to be doing some of the same stuff she was doing? The supervisor responded with, I think that's an unfair assessment of what is going on. In the public, I just want to let you know what our assessment could be from where we sit. Our first assessment is there was a political maneuver made in secret to restore a salary we saw blocked before you took the seat. A team was put together of well-known community leaders who were convinced that what was happening was for the good of the community. It is their credibility that is at risk. You were made aware that there was a vote for a forensic audit. In your own words, no RFP was done, so no auditor was hired, and you made no moves to correct that action. At the present moment, the finance director from the previous administration still sits in a tainted, unchecked seat with no signs of removal as he just completed a budget with as many errors or blatantly shows the public where allegedly money could be misused. There are still non-approved employees on the township payroll, including ones that lied during the last administration. Events are being approved without disclosing to the public via the agenda a budget. At least the last administration had the audacity to tell the public about a budget. You also commented to Ben Bradley that a workman is worthy of his hire. Loosely, it's a quote from the Bible. I would direct you to a more befitting passage. The steps of a good man are ordered by God. Should be assessed. Lastly, to the board, remember you all were elected in your own right, your own merit, I want you to remember, why did you agree to join this team? Did you join for status or notoriety? Did you join to be famous or infamous? The choice is yours. Thank you.
Yes, good evening. I echo some of the same sentiments about Robert Hunt. This is no disrespect to him as a person. I feel like he doesn't have a lot of integrity to me from what I've seen. Seems like he does what he's told to do and not what's right, and that's a hard pill to swallow when he's the finance director. I just tried to talk to him now. He said he'll be back or whatever it was, but still no engagement. I do appreciate that he gave the report and that he fielded some questions, but I mean, he had time to prepare his answer. I don't feel like he's availed himself to just answer freely. Secondly, one thing about the budget, I do understand what you guys have presented. For me, I think the real comparison comes next budget year, fiscal year, when you actually get to see what was spent compared to what was allotted. Because I feel like there's no baseline. So, I mean, they're operating kind of without, real structure being in place previously. So I actually understand that, and I'm anxious to see next year this time, this budget that is presented and voted upon compared to the next budget, and then what was actuals versus what was projected. Because they did explain if certain things aren't used, then that money is not, it's reallocated or it's retained. So I understand that, so I'm gonna cut them some slack because of that. And I think that's a more fair comparison next year. Secondly, I wanna say, echoing to the cyberbullying, some of the people that's yelling this are the same ones that started this, even with the people they mentioned, started this whole cyberbullying campaign. I wanna say to Babe Solo, specifically Jesse Jones, whatever you go by, please leave my name off of your content. You're trying to get clicks by creating mess. I've never said I wanted to fight you, never called you out your name, never did anything other than ask you to just stop talking or to lower your voice. It's all recorded. So I'm not sure why, at your age especially, you're engaging in this nonsense, because that's what it is. I've asked you on every single platform to refrain from calling my name out, from using my name, for making slanderous allegations that aren't true. I've asked you on every single platform, and I'm asking you now during public comment to refrain. This is what I'm dealing with. But anyway, I just wanted it on record. I didn't say anything. She's relentless, she's obsessed, and I think there's something more to it. But anyway, thank you, administration. Sorry I had to take the time with this, but again, I feel like, things need to be put in place to ease the contention, and some people strive off contention and mess, and I don't want to be a part of it. And I'm making that public statement right now and asking that a few people, this person specifically, leave my name out of her mess. Thank you.
Wow. Okay.
Trina, stop.
Okay, just real short. I'd just like to say, I do like the idea, if you could, of taking a little bit more time for the vote. And another thing I would like to say is, the climate in the country right now, okay? We just have so much stress, and there's a lot of tension and mistrust, and that's part of what's going on. The public wants to believe and trust in their government. We need it so badly, and so that's part of what's going on. And as far as, I'm sorry I wasn't able to pay super close attention to the numbers and everything in the general assistance fund, but in looking at the budget, I think you probably are, I hope you are, thinking about what the future might be as far as, again, what's going on nationally, that there may be more need for the pantry, more need for general assistance as the changes in the medical situation happens, as the changes in SNAP happens. People may be coming for relief from the township. And so, you know, if you could just kind of think about that when you're looking about putting your figures together. And of course, our tax assessor, that is just so critical to the needs of this township. I can't begin to tell you what a blessing it is to have that. So, thank you.
Angela Russell.
Good evening, everyone. Dalton resident, Thornton Township member. I first want to acknowledge all of the different emotions and feelings that everyone has here and has been having for quite some time, which is why I want to keep reminding you that there are free mental health supports available. No matter what you're going through, whether you have a diagnosis, general stress, our agency provides that. We're also partnering with a lot of different agencies to provide free mental health services right here in Thornton Township. Our event Healing Happens Here was this past Friday. We had a lot of different resources that are located right here in Thornton Township that everybody could have accessed. A lot of the providers who were there also provided free workshops, stress management, healing circles, peace circles. We had a group there specifically for Black moms. We had sound bath healing and meditation, light therapy, and oral readings. We also had people there for, if you had questions about your property taxes. She was actually doing paperwork to help you get your property tax and exemptions in order. I have presented that information a lot, and I'm kind of disappointed that more people in Thornton Township didn't
Advertise it.
I did. It was everywhere, but it gets bombarded by all the political things that's going on. And so I post every other day on all the platforms, but it gets bombarded with everything. And I actually do really understand that, but we have to take a break from all of the chaos that we participate in to manage our own healing and where our focus is. So I'm here to offer again, I would like to request a meeting with this board to talk about the services and the partnerships that my agency has developed to bring these things right here in Thornton Township. It could be in this building, it could be at Dalton Library, it could be at South Holland Library. Wherever we have the space, we will bring that support to anyone in this room, anyone who is listening, anyone who is watching, because the stress goes beyond the politics of today. It's things happening with our youth, it's things happening in our homes, it's things happening with our family, and we have to have a safe space to process those things and to get the supports that we need. So again, I am here, I am available, the resources are here. We will bring them to you. You will not have to travel far. We will make them accessible. We will make sure that they're affordable, and they are for all ages. We actually are partnering with the Southland Juvenile Justice Council to make sure we provide free services to our youth who are also in mental health crisis for various reasons. Short-term, long-term, situational. There are so many things that we need to bring here to Thornton Township. While you're talking about bringing the resources back for mental health, please consider the offers I've been making. Thank you.
All right.
Hello again. I just wanted to be clear, even though I am a registered Democrat, no, I did not endorse this current slate to be the township board. Not personally, because some of you I speak with personally, and it's as someone previously had said, this is all about professional criticism and about how you all are doing your public jobs. I, to my surprise, endorsed the Republican candidates, but it was mostly because the Democratic slate really had no debates or dialogue. There were no plans for ethics reforms. Basically, the platform was, let's just return to what we did during the Zuccarelli days. And my position is that that's not good enough. I grew up during the Zuccarelli days, you know, going to Thornton and all this. I saw all some of the faces may have changed, but it was all about, unfortunately, people getting paid. And yes, we help people and give services along the way, but that's not good enough anymore. We have lost so many residents to Indiana, to areas further west and further south, because people they can't take all the tax burden. I cannot communicate this to you enough. You're not there to enrich yourselves. You're there, we need the services. No one's against the services, but people can't afford to live in their homes. How many more people do you want to see move to Indiana? I mean, we will not survive as a region. When I taught at Thornton, I always tell my kids, hey, you're gonna come back to Harvey, you know, and help, and they were like, no way, we're gonna get out of here. We don't even want to be in this area. So I mean, that's what we're facing. I wanted to bring up the WGN report about the salaries, you know, about those being too high, so that needs to be addressed. What is the legality of the salaries in those issues? Instead of a tax refund, I was gonna suggest just spend the public money wisely and then decrease everybody's tax rates, and you don't have to worry about a refund. For the travel, this reminds me of District 152. I brought up these same points, and Ms. Nesbitt is also on that board. Again, I'm not against professional development, but who's going? What's the cost? And why can't you do some remote learning? Like, why do you guys have to go to these hotels? And, you know, what are you paying? For the credit card policies, what is that? All the resolutions should be posted online prior to each meeting, because we don't even know what you're voting on. I suggest from now on just having basic levels of funding until the audit is complete. All of you yelled and screamed and criticized for months, saying that we had to clean up and figure out where all the money is. But now that you're in office, you're not doing that. You're rushing to vote and spend money, and it's not right. I suggest in the meantime, if you do need more money, just take it for some of the salaries you've increased. And my final question is, I live here in Harvey, Illinois. You can always come visit my house on Ashland Avenue. Do you?
Thank you. Next up is Lee.
Greetings, everyone. This is sort of my reintroduction to this forum, not because I've been away for a while. It feels better, but we have a ways to go yet. I'm very disappointed that the forensic audit idea has been it appears to be ignored, no matter how many months we've talked about this. And the reason we need that is not to just drag things out from the old administration. We need a baseline that we can trust.
Exactly.
We don't really have a baseline right now. If these numbers that were given to us are maybe inaccurate. So basically, we're still shooting in the dark. And I think this needs to be addressed one way or another. We got to connect the amount of money that was there to the amount of money that's here. And there seems to be a lot of gaps in that. These funds don't seem to be, a lot of these funds don't seem to be verified. I'm all for moving forward, but we have to do it in a smart way. Also, I noticed that Mr. Hunt said he was coming back, but I guess he took the long way around. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I heard him going through a list of questions, and he informed me that those questions came from the Lansing Journal and not from, through you guys. I think that between the two meetings that are going to start up, we're going to have two a month, I guess, when the summer ends. At one of those meetings, we should have some type of Q&A. We need that. I mean, this is a communications issue as well as a financial issue. And as long as it appears that the questions are not being vetted properly or they're being selectively read, there's going to be mistrust, and we're going to waste a lot of time squabbling. And we've had 4 years of that. Enough. Okay? We all are getting tired of that. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered. For instance, in the event that I understand that you have some employees that are supposed to be getting bonuses, that or this, that, and the other. But do we know if they deserve those bonuses? Do we know if they even qualify to even be here? They may have to lay some people off or whatever. How are we gonna do that if we don't know exactly how much money we have and do it in a manner that becomes a municipality of this stature? We need to start acting like we are, well, we are kings and queens. We gotta stop acting like paupers and jesters. Now, we're doing that now. You guys are a much improvement over what we had the last 4 years. But we still have a ways to go. We have to look each other in the eye and be completely honest with each other. So if you really think that, well, I don't think I want to do this or do that because of any other reason other than for the residents, you may want to reevaluate your position in this office. Thank you.
Nina Graham. Wendy Kelly Coleman.
Hi, I did want to mention this at the last meeting, about the food pantry, but I missed the sound. So, I mentioned before the previous administration that my background is in corporate. I don't know, public and politics and all of that and how things are run. However, I think it's incumbent upon this administration to be as responsible or even more so with our taxpayer dollars and have the same level of fiscal responsibility as a for-profit organization would have. This brings me to the food pantry. When I looked at the budget, there was a $1 billion line item with really no explanation of what it is or what it's made up of. But even further, I'm concerned with the overall $4.368 million cost of the food pantry. This is a big amount. It's huge. Based on my math and the number of meals that on the website it says get served or boxes, comes to about $87 to provide a box of food that's worth $25. And I'm being generous because I know what's in those boxes. Even the U.S. government continues making pennies when they realize it costs $3 to make a penny, right? Because it's not efficient, it's a waste, right? And I'm not suggesting that we eliminate food pantry. It provides a vital service, and even more so with all the political climate and the change, people are going to be relying on it. So I'm not suggesting that. I just want the numbers to make sense because right now the math ain't math.
Right.
And so my suggestion is that, and I understand, some people say things go up, things cost more, with inflation, with this political climate on. But I think we need to really take a look at the food pantry, the processes, the financial, take a deep dive. I'm sure there are many opportunities to realize some efficiencies that will bring those costs down so that the math starts mathing. Because right now it doesn't. I try to twist it and turn it on the side, it just doesn't make sense to me. And what that does is, any increase like that or any savings helps with our taxes. Right now, it impacts our taxes, it impacts our property values, reduces those, and that impacts our ability to build generational wealth, which most people do through real estate. And it's all about the taxes, right? Some people pay more taxes than they do their principal and interest out of it. So I appeal to you guys. I appreciate what you've done, and I have every confidence that you guys will take a look at the food pantry, look at where we can eliminate waste, realize some efficiencies, and bring those costs down, so we can, again, as some people said, get our taxes down so we can match what we should
Real minute allotted. Thank you. And at this time, I will close public comments. We have the 30-minute allotment.
Excuse me, Madam Clerk, I was a little late. Would I be able to speak?
I understand we have per ordinance 30 minutes allowed. Thank you.
Wow.
I'll sign that paper, clerk. Can I speak, please?
Approval of the minutes. Motion for the approval of minutes for the regular board meeting for June 17th.
I like to.
Not letting people speak.
Second.
trustee Stubbs, seconded by trustee Gonzalez, to approve the minutes of the regular board meeting from June 17, 2025. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Avant?
Here's mine.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries, and approval of the minutes has been justified. Next, item 7, approval of bills. A, general fund. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve the bill of the general fund.
Second.
Motion. Trustee Stanley, second by trustee Stubbs, to approve the general fund. Trustee, clerk, Nesbitt, call the roll.
Trustee Stubbs?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley?
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Aye.
Trustee Avant? Supervisor Harris?
Aye. With 5 voting in the affirmative, the bills have been approved for the general fund. Next, item B, general assistance fund. There are motion for the approval of the bills for the general assistance fund.
I make a motion to approve the bill of the general assistance fund.
Second.
There's a motion by trustee Stanley, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Avant? Yes. Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes, with 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Approval for the general assistance fund. Next, there are motion for the road and bridge fund. For the approval of bills.
I'd like to make a motion for the road and bridge fund.
Second.
There's a motion by trustee Stubbs, seconded by trustee Stanley for the road and bridge fund. Approval of bills. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Avant? Yes. Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes. With 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries and the bills are approved. Item 8, new business. Is there a motion? Can I get a motion to approve the events listed for December for the approval of township events?
I'd like to make a motion to approve township events through December 2025.
Second.
A motion by trustee Stubbs, seconded by trustee Gonzalez. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Avant? Yes. Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes, with 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Next, I'd like to have a motion to adopt the 2025-26 appropriation ordinance, 25-07 for Thornton Township Road and Bridge Fund. I entertain a motion to adopt the 25-26 appropriation ordinance, 25-007 for the Road and Bridge Fund. Is there a motion?
I make a motion we adopt the 2025-2026 appropriation ordinance 25-007 for Thornton Township Road and Bridge.
Second.
Trustee Stanley makes a motion to adopt the appropriation ordinance 25-007 for Thornton Township Road and Bridge Fund, seconded by trustee Stubbs. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Avant? Yes. Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Supervisor Harris?
Yes, with 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Next, I entertain a motion to adopt the 25-26 appropriation ordinance, 25-008 for the general assistance fund. Is there a motion? I'd like to adopt the budget and the appropriation ordinance, 25-008 for Thornton.
So they did not listen. They're voting for the budgets anyway.
I make a motion we adopt the 2025-2026 budget and appropriation ordinance 25-008 for the township general assistance.
Second.
Motion by trustee Stanley, seconded by trustee Gonzalez to adopt the 2025-26 budget and appropriation ordinance 25-008 for Thornton Township General Assistance Fund. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes, with 5 members voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Next, item 8B, I'd like to adopt, I'd like to ask for recognition, and a motion to adopt the 2025-26 budget and appropriation ordinance 25-009 for Thornton Township General Fund. Is there a motion?
Motion to adopt 2025-2026 budget and appropriation ordinance 25-009 for Thornton Township General Fund.
Second.
Motion by trustee Gonzalez, seconded by trustee Stanley, to adopt the 2025-26 budget and appropriation ordinance 25-009 for Thornton Township General Fund. Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Harrison?
Yes, with 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries.
They can't even look at us as they vote to spend all of our money with no accountability.
To approve the renumbering of ordinance 25-003 that was approved May 25th to 25-006. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve to renumber ordinance 25-003, approval May 27, 2025, establishing rules governing uses of the Thornton Township Board for Thornton Township, Cook County, Illinois, as ordinance 25-006.
With a motion by trustee Stubbs, seconded by trustee Stanley to approve to renumber ordinance 25-003 to 25-006. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Supervisor Harrison?
Aye. With 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. Next, we have an approval to amend the ordinance 24-006 to establish a retail/credit card third policy for Thornton Township. Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to approve to amend ordinance number 24-006 to establish a retail credit card net 30 policy for Thornton Township, Cook County, Illinois.
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Stubbs, seconded by trustee Stanley to approve to amend ordinance 24-006. And what this is doing is limiting the amount of credit cards that were allocated when we got into bring that number down so you can get control on spending controls. And we thought that was more in line with what our vision was to reduce costs. So that being said, clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Stubbs?
Aye.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Avant? Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Supervisor Harrison?
Aye. With 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries. The next item G, entertain a motion for the following training events. Presented one approval of the Works Association, approval of IRT day plan and biannual conference, and approval of Illinois Road and Transportation Business Association road goals for this time. Those 3 items, is there a motion? Is there a motion to approve?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Just take that money.
We have a motion to approve by trustee Avant, seconded by trustee Stubbs. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Supervisor Harrison?
Aye. With 5 voting in the affirmative, the motion carries.
Spend that money. How much more money is
Next up is the supervisor report. I'll start by saying that we hear the comments of all the residents, and we definitely take them to heart. And what's being said in the public comment, and try our very best to respond in a respectful manner to make sure that the needs of the residents are being met first. That is our first and foremost thing that we live by. As has been stated before, this is a time of unity. There's no need to go out and be adversary towards anyone. And contrary to what report was said, I've never this far as anybody. You cannot find a the record of me saying negative about anybody that came before me or after me. That's not true of anything in the public record. I also like to say that people always talk about people coming together and being on one accord. Sometimes, as individuals who take on this public office, people often wonder why people do it. And they say, well, why people do it is because genuinely people care, and there's not enough people that care enough to do it. One thing I can say with complete respect for the members that's on this esteemed panel, the trustees in particular, is that people say, well, oh no, they just represent them. No, it's not representing. We're communicating. And when you communicate, you don't need to go out and have all this public discourse. People are using this as clickbait. I want to put some emphasis on this. We have a lot of people that come here for their own entertainment purposes so they can get clicks on the internet. And this is not what we're going to do and condone. We're going to stick to the business of handling township business each and every time we take this. I see people nodding their head and no, and that's okay. Everybody can have their opinion, but the facts will remain. That's not going to change. I'm going to stand up here and do my job. As I said before, I'm only one person. I can't be everything to everybody, but I'm going to be everything to who needs to be, and that's the residents of Thornton Township. And the decisions that we make as a collective body are going to reflect those things that I listed off earlier, that all these trustees had an opportunity to talk about. People talk about transparency, about doing pantry work, about doing this and doing that. We cannot do everything at one time, and we're taking the progressive steps to make sure that everything is looked at and responded to. It may not come at the time that you want it, but it's coming. And those are just real realities that we have to live with. We can't do everything on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. It's a progression. So we're working hard towards making sure that the things that are I call it imminent, that's hitting us right in the face, that we have to prioritize things. And some things, whether we want to believe it or not, are not high up on the priority list because there's some really pressing issues that have to be handled first. Otherwise, there's an imbalance. And we're trying to balance everything appropriately so the residents of Thornton Township always remain first. And the last part to that is, everyone wants to talk about dysfunction. What does it actually mean? Someone said it. They said, well, if you do this way, it's one way. If you do it this way, it's another way. What is it to be said for people that agree? We're not up here arguing. We're not making a bad name for ourselves. We're not we're not bickering and bringing negative light. We're handling ourselves professionally, and we get ridiculed for doing that. So it's almost like, what do people want? But I can tell you this, the impact and the letters and the comments that we've received consistently, the overall majority of Thornton Township residents agree with what we're doing. But we want everybody. I'm not gonna lie, we shoot for 100, we shoot for 1,000. We want everybody's approval. But let's face it, the realization is we're not gonna please everybody. That's just being honest. And for people to come every week to try to create a narrative that's not there, to continue to make people come here to bring a negative light to Thornton Township is really embarrassing. And I'll be the first to say, I'm not standing for it. And I'm going to continue to work with each and every person that's genuinely coming to work on behalf of the residents of Thornton Township, because this is what this is about. Every trustee that's spoken tonight have reiterated that. This is not about us. It's not about this. It's not about that. It's not about who shot John. It's not about the previous person. We're moving forward. And in order to do that, we have to work together because we were duly elected by the residents of Thornton Township to do a job, and we plan on doing just that. So I thank you for the comments. I thank you for your public participation. I would just ask that you give the courtesy and respect to not just myself, but to the trustees and everybody in their respective roles that's trying to do the best job they can possibly do for the residents of Thornton Township. And at this time, I also ask that everyone please rise for a moment of silence. Earlier last week, we lost Gilbert Gonzalez, the dad of our dear friend and trustee, Chris Gonzalez. So could everyone rise for a moment of silence for Gilbert Gonzalez? Thank you. Trustee Gonzalez, we just want you to know as supervisor and as members of this board, we really appreciate your hard work. We appreciate what your dad meant to you and the values that he instilled in you to make you become the man that you are today. We know that you looked up to him and all the stories that you share with us individually and collectively. Your dad's legacy lives on through you, and he has a lot to be proud of as you are proud of him. So thank you, Trustee Gonzalez, for sharing your dad with us, and you have our deepest condolences from the Thornton Township board and myself, trustees. Thank you. Also, I'd like to make mention, as it was stated before, there are some updates happening to the website, an opportunity to leave comments and questions, and we'll try to get back to the appropriate department to be able to answer those questions efficiently as we can. As was stated, we're still going through a ton of information, 40 things that were left behind for months and almost some a year. So please be patient with us. We're working to expedite that process as quickly as we can, because we didn't hire any new people because we don't want the budget to implode anymore. And as it was mentioned earlier, no one has been let go either. And I know a lot of people have their own ideas of who should be hired and who should be fired, but that is my decision along with this board to do that. And we're going to do the best job we can, making sure that we have the right people in the right positions to lead this township forward. So with that being said, thank you for your time, and I ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second. Trustee Stubbs makes a motion to adjourn, second by Trustee Stanley. Clerk, please take the roll.
Trustee Avant?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Stubbs?
Yes.
Trustee Stanley?
Yes.
Aye. The time is 7:30, and this meeting is now adjourned.
Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us. That was disappointing that they approved all that spending with little to no feedback, but not surprising. I told people not to vote for this slate. I told everybody. Told you they would do this.
Appreciate your comments.
Oh, thank you. So I'll take a look at these. No, I didn't. Oh, 2000. Well, yeah, didn't you? I think I did that. But yeah. Well, good. I'm glad you didn't forget me because I hadn't heard from you in a while. I gotta work. Did you get my last text? Did you get my last text message? I forget what I said. That's why I started everything. But if I see that, like, other people, I can't speak to them. Like, if I see some other people, there was some other covering.
I just need to know what days you be there. I don't know.
Hey, you too. You too. Ever get what? Yes, I did. Luckily, yes, I definitely did. Oop, 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 oop. Wait, are you still live too? I know. I'm like, maybe I should end it, but yeah, no. At least it cleaned up fairly easily.
Wow.
Okay, guys. All right, I'll probably try to hop on later and talk a little bit about what happened. Thanks for joining. See y'all for now. See y'all for now. Well, let me wait. Hold on one second, guys. Let me see if Paul wants to sing. Sorry, guys. I'm just getting cleaned up here. Okay, you guys, you want to head out? I'm going to head up. Well, at least they're not like forcing us out like they used to. That's kind of nice, you know? Now is the call. Now is the call. Hey, Ms.
We get kicked out.
ma'am.
Time to go.
Bye.
The best in the West.
Go see Paul's still here. Bye. Have a good night. Thank you. Where did Paul go? Did Paul leave? Oh, okay. I don't know if he left, but hey. Do you have a quote? Do you have a statement? You want to make a statement on the meeting? You want to say how you feel about it?
That was terrible.
What do you think?
I think they are bigger liars than Tiffany and more covert than Tiffany in their tactics.
Yeah.
I think that Nina Graham was a whole farce standing up there saying support Napoleon when she spent $34 million on track fields at 3 schools instead of building a school for our students. What's wrong with them?
Wow.
And it was Don Harmon, the Illinois Senate president, that made it possible for Napoleon to get that money. And he'll be in Chicago on July 24th. We should all go meet him.
I would like to do that.
He represents Oak Park.
I would be interested in that.
Don Harmon, Illinois Senate president, that made the Crohn's bill so Napoleon can get that salary. We should all go see him on July 24th when he's in Chicago and ask him why he did that.
At what time?
I think it's either 12 or 5. I gotta check online. But yeah, he'll be here.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Because he the huncho for the rodeo. He the Senate president. He made it all possible. So I would say he's responsible. And he's a long way from representing the south suburbs when he's in Oak Park district. So he could care less about us.
And Napoleon's the number 2,
and
right?
Is he here to get his
I believe.
kickback pay for making that possible? Or do they all just happen to be, you know? You know.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Napoleon's the number 2,
And
right?
Napoleon needs to also be challenged in court on having those 2 positions. Because as the Illinois senator, he just sent money down to Thornton Township High School District. And so while Nina Graham making that eloquent speech, we need to be checking what's going on with that money. He should not have both seats. He has to make a choice. Because you're sending money down from your Senate seat to the township, that's a severe conflict of interest.
Why do you think he gets away with it so?
Because of the Democratic machine. Because he's part of DOTS and he's the head of the Democrats of Thornton Township, which is DOTS. Nina Graham's part of that. Almetta Moody's a part of that. There's a few people that's part of that machine. That's why you saw her speak up for him today.
Yeah, Ryan told me. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Yep.
And what do you think, Trina? If you saw all those people say, "Hey, we have questions. Could you at least wait on the budget?" And did you? What do you think? Did you see they didn't even look up? They just voted on the budgets. Boom, 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 boom.
They could care less. And the budget, the way it was printed, was very juvenile. I don't know why Mr. Hunt made it this way, but you can still plainly see in the budget where the money's missing. You can still see through the real estate taxes that it's going to be a tax levy. How do you get more real estate taxes if you're not going to have a tax levy? And then what's a senior tax and a children tax?
I remember you said that yesterday.
Children pay a tax. What are they talking about? That's right up under the real estate tax on the budget sheet.
And you have
senior tax and children tax. What is that?
Do you,
And then the capital gain and loss. They have that on as one line item, and it's a, you know, you don't know if you're going to gain 100,000 or lose 100,000 plus. That's just.
I saw that too.
It's ridiculous.
What do you think about the fact that Robert Hunt is still over the finances? Do you think they should we keep him at the township? Should we get rid of him?
If you want to keep corruption, then that's who you need. Is Frank Zuccarelli fucking with them numbers, so nothing's going to change.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As I recall, some of those people up on the board, they had some comments for Robert Hunt under Tiffany, didn't they?
Yes.
They had a lot of comments.
They have a lot of comments. It's always about the budget, and he never seems to answer them. Why is it that they only have $6 million left in cash reserves when we started at 12 million.
Oh.
Where's all that money? That's part of the reason why Napoleon's getting what he's getting with no question, but it's really because of that deal.
Okay.
And the rest of the trustees are getting more than what they're supposed to be getting too, because they're only supposed to be getting $14,000 as new trustees, and they're not getting that. And so for them to be, you know, having this money go out of the township when the township is only for services, it's ridiculous. For Chris Gonzalez to sit his ass up there and lie and talk about he's all about services when children miss Christmas toys and deprived families miss Christmas baskets for food on Christmas, just to get Stephanie Wiedemann to warm that seat that she had no plans on keeping is a damn shame. So where are we now? Stephanie has quit her job here because she didn't like the job they put her in, and now she works for Jedediah Brown over at INA.
Speaking of that, have you heard any developments from Michigan today?
I have not, but I did notice that Jedediah was not on the judge's calendar.
Oh.
He was not on Judges Collier's calendar for today, and I also noticed in his file that he was supposed to appear on Zoom. And also, a good case in point is Michigan airs all of their cases on YouTube.
Oh, so we could see them.
Go on the Michigan court website, click on live stream, and it's supposed to show you what happened earlier in the court.
Oh.
But I did not see Jedediah's name on the judge's calendar. And that was really weird because a lot of judges have tossed this case around. When you go online, look at the case history, is 62 events since he's been arrested, and most of those events were changes of the judge. So I don't know if they threw the case completely out when he got there. I don't know what they did, but when I get home, I'm going to check for updates in the court system to see what happened. Very informative.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
But I doubt if the judge would have revoked his bond, because if he had been convicted of the crime, had been here and been to court, he still has to be proven guilty of what occurred for them to take that into account. But I'm sure they'll be watching. If he on any kind of probation or supervision after this case, then he's going to be in trouble.
Now, Trina, why didn't you make comments today?
I wasn't here. I stayed home.
Oh, okay.
My blood pressure had got up to 190 over 100 last night.
Oh.
And because for the past 4 days, I haven't been taking my heart medication because, it kind of makes me drowsy and tired. And so I was like, for the last 3 days, I hadn't been taking it, and just cleaning up, doing yard work. But then I'm like, that's why they say it's a silent killer.
Wow.
Because had I not checked my blood pressure, I wouldn't have known. I wasn't feeling lightheaded or none of that. And it went from 150 something over 100 all the way up to 190 and 195 over 100. And I got really scared. And my doctor took me off amlodipine because my blood pressure is low. The ejection rate of my heart is low. Like the ventricles pushing the blood out, it comes out really low. And so I took the amlodipine because I said, I know this will lower my BP. So I took it yesterday. And I made sure that I took the Jardians and the rosuvastatin and everything like that. I would never play with that statin like that again. Yeah, not that blood pressure medication. Yeah, I won't play with that shit like that again. Because
be careful.
You feel good, but it was hard to get back stable. I came out here once when I checked my blood pressure and it was 125 over 98. I'm like, okay, that's way the fuck better than 195 and 190 over 100. Yeah. Because the last time my blood pressure was like that, I had a heart attack and I didn't even know.
Oh no.
I didn't even know. I went back to the emergency room like 4 times because of pain. Yeah.
The pain in your chest?
Yeah. I had pain all up my arm real bad and my chest.
Wow.
And because I have a shoulder injury, they kept giving me a pain injection from the ortho.
They thought it was your,
No. They didn't give you those patches.
Oh my. Well, I'm glad they finally figured it out.
Yep, so that's,
Oh, okay.
I feel way better, you know what I mean? But I ain't gonna play with that medicine like that again.
Yeah, be careful. No, that's definitely be
Yeah,
careful.
yeah.
Looking for the follow-up on the, meeting the,
Yeah, Don Harmon, yeah. He gonna be like 5000 West,
Oh, you said it.
North, near, like right on the border of Oak Park at this apartment, Larrabee apartment buildings or something like that is the name.
what street is it on?
I wanna say Chicago.
That's Chicago Avenue.
But you're right to mention that because I believe Napoleon's number 2 in the Senate. Isn't he number 2 to Don Harmon now?
Is he?
I thought they moved him up. So.
Wow.
Okay, guys. Yes.
Are you gonna go ahead to your car now?
Yeah, I want to make sure everybody gets home okay.
Okay.
Bye, Trina.
Bye, Trina.
And you're headed out too?
Yeah.
Is this you? Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. I should know that. Yes. Oh, okay. Well, I'm on my live. Why do you want to interview?
5760 Lake Street.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that. Thank you.
I'll come in here.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
good to
I
see you.
Give me a hug.
Oh, good to see you.
How's everything going?
Good. Not too bad.
Not too bad. You ready for this crazy reassessment that's coming up?
I'm very nervous. That's why I'm bugging the board. I'm like, you guys, you're gonna give me a heart attack. All these taxes are already so high, you know? The taxes are just out of control. I know, and they're gonna go up again. I'm telling you. So that's why I keep bugging them. Yes. No, I will. I always appeal too. I tell people to appeal. Yeah. Oh yeah, both. Oh, definitely. Good to see you.
My cousin work over
Bye,
there.
Rico. See you. Bye, Trina. See ya. Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks for joining. Now I'm gonna head out here. Head out. Make sure everybody leaves safely. You know how that is. You never know who's gonna be out looking to cause trouble, so you gotta be careful, right? Not that we should have to think of that, but yeah, how is everybody? I hope you guys enjoyed the meeting. It was kind of interesting, huh? But yeah, I figured maybe I'll jump on later and talk about it. So, or if not, maybe tomorrow. Otherwise, bye for now, guys.